Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the morning conversation of the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel. And wow, look at the weather. We're supposed to have maybe freezing rain coming in today. You know, right now it doesn't feel that. I have my beanie hat on, right? The beanie hat on the beanie head guy. Yeah, it's Wednesday, the day, the week is progressing. I am out here heading to the office like I do every morning to get the day going and telling my stories and sharing my views and ideas. Isn't that the goal of my channel? Is that the goal of my channel, is to share with you my ideas and views? Share with you how crazy I am buying cars all the time? Yeah, you're hearing the word goals, right? What is today's agenda? Come on, Ginger, let's go. First thing is get the dogs in. Come on, Ginger, come on, let's go. Get in here. It's a never ending yell at the dogs, right? Here is the fleet. What's missing? Is there anything missing? Well, there is. There's cars in the trailers over there. There's cars other places too, but whatever. Yeah, so even though the front yard's getting kind of packed up. Hey, Will, what's going on, dude? Willow, come on, man, let's go. Here we go. You know, so what's my first goal in the morning? To get my dogs in the office. Come on, Scout. It just doesn't end, does it? Anybody has animals? You know, his routines. Yeah, this guy here, he just went to the bathroom earlier. I don't know what the heck's going on with him. Scout! Let's go. Oh, there you go. But he did that earlier. That dog's the machine. Hey, Ginger. No, you're out on a mission. Everybody's out of control this morning. What the heck is going on? Jesus Christ. Come on. I just want to get to my office. And the problem is, we get people walking up and down the damn street here that walk their other dogs. People live on 5 and 10 acre lots here, but they still walk their dogs out middle of the street. Whatever. Can't fence in your yard and let them run amok on their own. Come on, Ginger. The attitudes, right? Come on, let's go. All right. What is your problem? What is going on? Come on. I don't know what you're doing. Come on, let's go. Come on. She's on a mission, I guess. She's getting all offended. Yeah, so what's my channel? One of my goals has been this past end of last year to the first part of this year is to drive that new Hurricane motor. And one of my YouTube subscribers, he set me straight. I'm glad people watch my channels. They set me straight. A little bit, not much. But he's like, hey, man, you're referencing that Hurricane motor being a V6 twin turbo. It's not. It's an inline 6. And I'm like, yeah, right, it is. Duh. It's an inline 6, not a V6. Ginger! Already seen me chase my dogs. I wouldn't blame you. Okay, hey, come on. Ginger! Ginger! Get in the office. Get in the office. Get in the office. Stop it. Stop it. Get in the office. Jesus Christ. This dog this morning, it's bad. Yeah, anyways, so that has been one distraction this morning. Sorry for anybody watching my channel. I'd be surprised if he just doesn't turn it off right now. But here's the trick. You turn this damn channel off, this phone off, every now and then, it just goes kaput. Yeah, it goes kaput. Meaning my voice and the phone stops working. I don't know what's going on. This one dog here, she's got problems this morning. Something ain't right. Come on, let's go. Get in. Get in. Yeah, I know. It's never easy. Anyways, thought this morning we could talk about goals. And have I made that video? I don't know. Who knows? I make so many daggone videos. I can't keep track of all the conversations I have. Let's get up here in the office. Let's get the office warmed up. Get up here. And have our theme of the day. The talk of the day, right? Get the... Yeah, some days, it just isn't easy. It just isn't easy. What's that all about? I mean, you can't relate with that. You get out of bed, it just seems like it's one of those days. Or just challenging. Yeah, that happens to me. Happens to all of us. And so yesterday, if you follow my channel, I drove that new Jeep Grand Wagoneer. And the reason I went to drive it is I really want to see how that new Hurricane motor that Stellantis has brought from overseas here to the American side, I guess. And I just really want to see how that vehicle would perform. There's a 6.4 motor in that Grand Wagoneer, the full-size Jeep Grand Wagoneer, is really nice. I mean, it really is nice, and it really is a great setup. But at the same time, I'm just always a person, my goal is always just to kind of see the latest, greatest, and to own different things. If you watch my channel, you can see, obviously, I have goals. I think most of us have goals in life. And so, my whole reason I made that video yesterday was really not to go buy the Jeep Grand Wagoneer right now. It was more about me seeing if I like the new Jeep Grand Wagoneer with that new Hurricane 6-cylinder twin-turbo motor in it. And to see if the vehicle performed as well as the V8. Because the V8 motor set up in that Jeep Grand Wagoneer, it's really nice. I mean, it really is. It does have a nice throaty exhaust to it and the V8 rumble. So it's a great package. The only thing is, I think it's probably a gas hog. And someone yesterday claims you're supposed to run premium in it all the time, which, if you do all the driving I do, it's not the end of the world, but it's kind of like nice to have the option to put 87 octane in the vehicle. So, let me see something here on my side here. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here and kind of sharing some information with you. So, Ford order. Let's see if I have that. Yeah, okay, so here we go. So here's the thing. I don't usually share a lot of information, but here's the irony that's kind of going on in my life. I'm such a Ford guy, but what happens to me is I get so burned out of the same product. That's kind of how I run. I'll own the same brand manufacturer for many, many years, then I just kind of get burned out of the same brand. So then I kind of just move back on to something else. So if you look here, so unbeknownst to a lot of people, I ordered a Ford Expedition Platinum. I'll show it to you right now. So here's a Ford Expedition 2023 Platinum that I ordered. And that vehicle is literally being shipped as we speak. So it's just to be delivered to Koons Baltimore Ford here possibly in the next week or so. And I'm trying to think here, I can get this, give you some more shots here. It's a beautiful vehicle. This would be like my third Ford Platinum. And then you've got the nice sandstone color interior. And so, the vehicle there, I ordered that last year. And it's kind of like the wife kind of really misses that. And so anyways, so I'm kind of on the page. Do I get another one of those? So my attitude was, for the dealership, they're not going to lose out. Whether I buy that vehicle or not, that vehicle will be good stock inventory for them because it's just the same story. Ford's ramping up the production, but Ford's presence was Ford dealers are supposed to have people order vehicles instead of just order them for dealer inventory. And I don't know if that plan is really working out that well because I'm not really seeing that. I'm not seeing on how Ford, or I should say that it just seems to me that the Jim Farley, they made this goal of having the dealerships have a dealer, no longer dealer inventory, only customer ordered. I don't know. I mean, it just seems like at Koons Baltimore Ford, watching my videos, there were so many vehicles on that lot that were not personal orders. It was just dealer inventory. So what happened to that business plan? A year later, like a year ago, Jim Farley was saying they want to go to order-only dealer inventory as far as a person orders. So where's that goal? Where'd that goal go? But anyways, so here's the dilemma. Yesterday I create my own challenges in life. I know that. If you watch my channel, it's like, yeah, I know. I create my own, fun and hardships. I get all that. We all do in all reality. So my goal yesterday was just to drive that Jeep Grand Wagoneer, and I drove it. And I never went there to buy the vehicle. It's not, they don't have the package I want, plus they want too much money for it. It's too new in the market. There's no way I'm paying big money. That vehicle will never be a vehicle sought after like a Ford Bronco Raptor. It's just not going to hold. Over time, it's not going to hold its value. Sorry, Jeep Grand Wagoneer people. I'm already seeing it in the used car market. You can find these things and use pretty good deals. So, and I think it's going to continue. And when I was at the dealer yesterday, those guys pretty much would tell you, yeah, the day of reckoning is kind of probably here, because they're like, it ain't nothing like it was during the pandemic. Those days are gone. So if you follow my video, you hear me talk about that yesterday in the conversations of used car values. I was blown away. That Toyota 4Runner that I have, I'm not lying to you. KBB shows that Toyota 4Runner at $29,000, $30,000 vehicle. During the pandemic crisis, that vehicle was worth $48,000. So you're telling me it's not right. There's no way the Toyota 4Runner Pro. Yeah, good luck. I would love to hear a person tell me that they found today a low mileage, excellent condition Toyota 4Runner Pro 2018 Calvary Blue, only 1 year run for $29,000, $30,000. I'd love to hear that story. If you find it, you better grab it, because you could turn it and flip it and make $10,000. Yes, that's a $40,000+ vehicle in the real market. Yeah, just go to cars.com. Look for a $30,000 4Runner Pro. Good luck. You're not going to find it. Yeah, you'll find one with 200,000 miles on it, trashed. Anyways, so the only reason I went to that dealership yesterday was to drive that vehicle, and so it's just Murphy's Law. On myself, as I'm there, there's a Grand Cherokee L sitting there. Which then that opens the door of, oh my gosh, this is a really practical, good vehicle. And in all sincereness, probably the better value, better package for what we do with vehicles over the Expedition Platinum that I ordered. So now I'm kind of like, what do I do? Right now, you probably would be watching a video of me next week, maybe, or maybe the fall. They're saying the Expedition's not going to come in until like late next week. So you'd maybe see a video of me going to possibly do a Expedition Platinum purchase. But the challenge is, what am I going to give up for it? And here's the challenge. If Kuhn Ford has this vehicle, it's all about Ford Motor Credit. They can only kind of get the deals done. I have a deal done at this other dealership for that Grand Cherokee, but it's not the terms that I'm agreeable to at this time, but I do have a done deal if I want that vehicle. So if I want to give up my 4Runner and get the Grand Cherokee L, there you go. I can go do it, but we're not there yet. There's still it's a little salty still. So we're still kind of negotiating on that. But the problem here is, for me, if I do that, then it kind of takes away the Expedition. But the Expedition really, even it doesn't to a degree. I can still do the Expedition deal, but the Expedition deal is going to be Ford Motor Credits and want me to give up something for that vehicle. And here's the challenge. What do I give up in the Ford Motor Credit? I guess I could give up the Mach-E GT. I guess that's probably where we go. That would be my guess. But I don't know. So anyways, the goal is just kind of rehashing what played out yesterday. And it wasn't really a video intentionally that I made to go buy a vehicle. That was not the plan. It was more just to give a review to other people that, hey, here's the 6-cylinder Hurricane motor versus the V8. And for me, I'll tell you straight up, I'll take the 6-cylinder over the V8. I will. And sure, it's a huge gamble, but I think the Hurricane motor's been around over in Europe for a while. I can be wrong on that, and I'm not that deep into that. Others probably may be. But the whole point is, I would take the 6-cylinder because I would prefer the better fuel mileage. So I would be, for me, I would just prefer the better. The V8, it's great, but I think the 6-cylinder would be the more sought after vehicle as time progresses, just for the little better fuel mileage. But maybe not. If they have a lot of problems, then no, it could be a huge mistake. Anyway, so goals. I just think to myself, I got to get some goals. It's just never ending. Here's the morning conversations. And it's just the media. What does the media have to talk about? Time they have to put together to get content. So I think to myself, goals. What is the automotive industry's goals? I mean, really, what is going on more than ever in our country, where you just read article after article, it's always about the EV vehicles. And it's always about the governing bodies promoting the EV vehicles. Even to the point that right now, the Democrats are proposing a bill, buy low, sell high, for the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, where they're wanting to tap that reserve have like 350 million barrels of oil to help build the electrified charging station infrastructure. So yes, right now the Democrat Party is putting together a bill, buy low, sell high. What their claim is, they're going to sell the oil, the barrel of oil, or the strategic petroleum reserve barrels of oil, when the market's like at $90 a barrel, and then they'll buy and replace it back when it's $60 a barrel. So their whole plan is to use these funds to help build the charging infrastructure for the electric vehicle future, of having by 2030, Joe Biden's goal, which he claims in his presentations, is that half of the vehicles sold new in this country by manufacturers will be electric vehicles. So the goal right now is, as we know, more than ever, the government more than ever wants people to drive electric vehicles, more than ever. So for the automotive industry, a driving goal right now is to basically get rid of the ICE and to replace it with the electric vehicles. Which I'm sure anybody that's a car enthusiast knows this story. I don't think anybody's learning something new at this time in my conversation. You're probably learning maybe something new about what I just told you about the buy or sell low, buy high bill that they're trying to bring to the table. But then they mock the Republicans about how they're proposing this bill to control the strategic petroleum reserve, where you just can't start selling this oil for trying to control the price of the fuel and the oil markets by flooding the markets with more oil so the prices go down, and how we're at risk of losing our what if for petroleum reserves. We had to go to war. So they're making fun of the Republican individuals that just proposed a bill to clamp down on the free for all of releasing the strategic petroleum reserve for the wrong reasons in their eyes, and they're making fun of the Republicans for wanting to open up federal lands for more drilling capability for oil. So on the one side, the Democrat Party is promoting that they want to use the oil, the fossil fuel guys, to pay for the challenges of the electric vehicles' future, but on the other hand. I mean, does it make any sense? They're lambasting the Republicans who want to drill more oil, so I guess it could help support the EV future, because us Ice Age people have to pay all these gas guzzler taxes, and you as an individual are paying into governing bodies taxes to reward people to buy electric vehicles, which I've been rewarded. Last year, technically, I got, I guess, I don't know. I'll have to talk to my tax man. Did I get 4 tax credits at $7,500 each? I mean, did I? I don't know. I mean, sincerely, I don't know how that's going to be handled. Definitely, I got 2, okay, because I still own the vehicles. But the others, since I sold them, I don't know. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can get that. You can claim that. But let's just say if I did, just give me 4 times $7,500. I got $30,000 of waived of me owing monies to the IRS to offset my tax liabilities last year, if I can take all 4 vehicles. I think it's going to probably be only 2 because I kept 2 vehicles. I'm not sure on that. But anyways, the whole point is, what is the goal of the governing bodies? It seems like the goal of the governing bodies more than ever are to tell the private sector what to do. More than ever, we're witnessing on how the governing bodies are controlling and directing the narrative of the private industry and the consumers. So that for us as individuals that are the Ice Age lovers, the V8 engine lovers, I see myself this morning too, it's just incredible how the V8 engine is such an addiction. When you have that V8 motor, you just can't get it out of your blood. It's like anything. You taste it, you had a drink of something, or you ate something, you had an experience of something, you never forget that experience. And it's like the V8 motor is the exact same thing. The V8 motor is an addiction. It's literally just like driving that great Jeep Grand Wagoneer yesterday. There's no doubt that doesn't have that kind of that more manly grunt to it in that 6-cylinder, setup. So if you're really wanting that manly feel, that Jeep Grand Wagoneer, you're not going to like the Hurricane motor. You're going to be like, I don't care if I get 2 miles per gallon less. I get all that. I mean, I'm with you on that. I mean, also, fairness, the 392 is a nice motor, and if there was the right deal, I would take that, and that's where it's probably going. That's another thing I'm kind of watching. I think the 392 could possibly kick to the curb a little bit, and the Hurricane motor would be more sought after, and so that's when you're going to get the deal on the 392. I think that's how it's going to kind of play out. You'll get the 10 grand, 12 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand. I don't think it's 20. Definitely 10, maybe 12. I think that's where it's going on those. The Hurricane motor, no. I don't think initially that'll be the story at first. So anyways, it's the addiction of the V8s that you have that you just can't forget that feeling. So back to the goal of the automotive industry. What is the goal of the automotive industry? Well, the goal of the automotive industry is having to appease the governing bodies of the world because of all these emission and carbon tax credits and penalties. So the underlying goal of the manufacturing, for the most part, is to really get to the zero emissions and to bring, I guess, more electric vehicles to the market, even though it seems as if the consumers, that isn't their same goal. And that's what's kind of, to me, it's interesting is the private sector and the consumers have usually driven the demand of things and products. But more than ever, and I could be wrong about this for older people than me, I feel like more than ever, the governing bodies are dictating what you should like and what you shouldn't like. I just really feel like it isn't the free market that we used to have. I mean, do we really have the free market of business that we came from the Industrial Revolution of this country? I mean, to me, in so many ways, I think we don't. Because the governing bodies are just wanting to control so many aspects of how we live our lives today. And then they're using social media to shame you if you don't abide by their views and policies. Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible on how the automotive world, and that's what I think is pretty neat about my channel. I started a channel truly just to share reviews and ideas of my vehicles and just to share how crazy I am as an individual, where I have this car addiction, which I need to start the Car Addictions Anonymous to help others like me, how you just recklessly go out and buy cars all the damn time. What the hell is that all about? Yeah, it's addictions. It's a car addiction. I don't deny that. Anybody said to me, I'm like, I'll just be lying to you if I didn't have a car addiction. Yeah, I have that. I know that. I get it. So, here's the point, though. For us individuals, we have a passion for these vehicles. And for me as an individual that started a YouTube channel, has an incredible passion for my vehicles. That was my goal, was to share with others just me buying cars and then, giving the overall impressions and ideas and views. But as time progressed, I just have kind of evolved more into sharing information because the car industry is so directly related more than ever to the governing body policies and the social media presence more than ever. And what's so interesting is I run across so many young people that just love the Ice Age, that don't want anything to do with the EV age. But it's very easy to label a young person today as being, all caught up in the social platforms, and they don't like the ICE vehicles, and they're not into the cars and trucks. I mean, it's so wrong. They so are. So many young people. I mean, yesterday, the salesman that I dealt with, he's 22 years old, that is working at that dealership, selling cars. He's a very young man. I see this all the time. I see very young people in car dealerships working. So the passion and the love for the Ice Age is, still very strong. But the governing bodies and the social media, I just continue to try to make it like the ice is just the wrong thing. I mean, and that's what I'm saying this morning is, what's the goal? What is the goal of our automotive industry? What is their real goal over the next 10 years? And I would be willing to venture most to say, well, it's the transition away from ice. And I would probably say, yeah, I would have to say that in so many aspects, yeah, that's their goal. I think a lot of hybrids set up. I think that the ICE will still be around, but I think for sure it's going to be the biggest transition of the transportation of how something's motorized or energized than we've seen them in our lifetime, on how many electric vehicles are going to populate. But I talked about this the other day. Is I think to myself on the here now. What do I get? Let me get some more coffee, okay? So But I think the transition, what's interesting with the EV vehicles, which I just talked about, the buy low, sell high gas, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve bill that's being proposed by Democrats, the electric vehicles are being subsidized so much that in traditional free markets, we know as business individuals, you can have the greatest idea. Who here at my, watch my channel hasn't come up with an idea and thought, wow, this idea that I have, it could make me millions. I could patent this. I have this idea, whatever it may be. But we know when it comes to the end, the odds are you'll never succeed in it. It's just so challenging to bring something to the market and be profitable and make a business out of it. Very challenging. But yet we have a governing body that's really, mandating so many things to change the way that vehicles are motorized, energized, but they're having to be subsidized at great sums of money to accomplish this, which only reinforces to you as an individual to say it's because the consumers really don't want it, but the government's forcing it, and it's having to go at any length. It's having to resort to any cost to try to bring the change of our transportation being so expensive that they're trying to grab anything they can to get the monies to force it to happen, where it's not being forced. So I just think to myself, wow, why don't we just cut to the chase and tell people right now, when it's all said and done, you're going to pay as much money to energize your electric cars as your ICE vehicle. There's no way. People be like, that's malarkey. Nah, no way. This is if you've been around long enough, the cable channels came back out in the day. You wouldn't have any advertising on your cable box. Sirius XM radio, you'd have free of no advertising. And then your subscription rates go up, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on about. And then internet, like my parents in Florida, their upload speeds on internet is the worst. They pay very expensive money for internet. And for me, where I have here in my home, I upload videos in this thing within minutes. Down in Florida, I'd make a video at 8 o'clock in the morning. It wouldn't even populate till 11, 12 o'clock in the morning some days. Sometimes 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's how pitiful the internet is there. So what I'm trying to resonate to you is it's the pitch. It's the pitch. So if anybody thinks that they're free, they're very minuscule charging their car at their house is going to last, it won't. So you fast forward 10 years from now, and I can guarantee you the conversation will be, I don't like your vehicle. And back in good old days, that thing cost me little to nothing to recharge it. Now today, it's no different than me going to the gas station. I'm spending 30, 40, 50 bucks to recharge the thing. Yeah, that's where it's all going to go. So the reason I'm saying this is for the governing bodies, they don't want to just cut to the chase and tell you the reality. That at the end of the day, for the amount of money and infrastructure that has to be built into the charging networks, into updating power plants, building more power plants, upgrading the grid systems, the list goes on and on and on. It's going to be massive investment for big business, but they're going to have to recoup their costs. So you're going to be paying. It's like a switch. So all that's going to happen is right now in your home, some people pay $60, $70, $80 a month for electric bill, but they spend $150, $200 a month in buying fuel for their car to drive up and down the road. Well, what's going to happen 10 plus years from now is your bill at your house is going to be $200, $300 a month. And your gas bill will be no longer as your electric vehicle. So it's just going to be a switch of you used to give money to the gas station down the street. Now you're just going to give all your money to electrical grid company you deal with. I mean, if you don't think that's factual, then you're just not in reality. You're being caught up in the governing bodies trying to present a future model of what they think will be the better way, which is just so many variables and debatable. It's beyond believable. The infrastructure of the carbon footprint to build out the electrical grid and the power plants will need and the energies will need. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Wow. I mean, so here's the thing. We have goals between the automotive industry and we have goals with the governing bodies. And more than ever, is the automotive industry really taking the goals of the governing bodies and really running with that? I have to say, for the most part, many of them are. Even though I think Japan, I think Toyota, Honda, Nissan, and Mazda, I think they're more reserved. I think they're more trying to kind of not move as fast. But the sitting powers of this country are wanting to push this electric agenda at the fastest pace ever. And then that's what you have to think to yourself. When somebody's trying to push something too fast or get something done too fast, don't you sometimes have reservations about that? Don't you think, is this really, I don't know. I think we're going a little too fast. Why so fast? Why is year-to-year increments going to be that big a difference in Mother Nature Earth? And where's the pandemic conversation of when everybody sat at home and the whole carbon footprint, evaporated because the whole transportation sector shut down? Where is that conversation? That was probably a 3 to 5 or 10-year advance in clean air technology of everybody sitting at home. Where's that conversation? Anybody ever heard that conversation? Has any scientist ever dug up the data to say by the pandemic worldwide, it literally was like what everybody's trying to accomplish with zero emissions by X amount of years from now, blah, blah, blah. Never have heard that conversation. So, why the constant push. And there's the kid. I like that. In the big old piped exhaust coal burner truck. So, so for right now, more than ever, I just feel like we have two totally, I wouldn't even say two totally opposing goals. But in some aspects, you have to wonder because the governing bodies are mandating so many guidelines, and the manufacturers, I guess, for the most part, are toe healing and playing along. You see how Tesla's supposedly have its highest profits ever for the last 3 quarters of last year. Hey, Tango, no, there's nothing there. There's nothing there, dudes. There's my life, right? Noise. There's nothing there. Sit down. Hey, come here. Come over here. Oh, it's me. It's me. Hi. Boy, look at this here. These guys are funny. Are these guys funny? Beanie hat. They probably didn't even notice my beanie hat, right? So it's this. This is what's going on right here. The kid and the dogs are all freaking out because they hear a noise. Okay? The kid's stuck. What's the kid doing? I don't know. Tearing up my yard, probably. It makes no sense how she did that this morning. She should have backed up. But anyways, who the heck knows, right? So anyways, the goals. Yeah, the goals. What are the goals? What are your goals? What are my goals? What are the dog's goals besides to bark all the damn time? So anyways, just thought I'd kind of, talk about the goals of the day, the goals of the morning. So what am I going to do now? Yeah, so what am I going to do? Do I pursue the Jeep Grand Cherokee L? I really like that vehicle. Here is the danger. My local dealer has the same vehicle that really kind of the color interior I like, with a V8 in it, used. Yeah, I just found that out last night. The local dealer right up the street here from me, they got a brand new used V8 Grand Cherokee L, but I don't think he has a tow package on it, which that blows me away. You buy a V8 Grand Cherokee and no tow package? Yeah, but it's more money. The problem is, and those are sought after. Everybody wants those. So I can't see the numbers working on that, but who the heck knows? But for me, I gotta go see a vehicle. I need to go drive a vehicle. Just to drive it to see how much different it is. I think the V6 is more than enough, but at the same time, then I started thinking, is this for me? Yeah, what do I give up? But once again, here's the thing. It's kind of like, I don't know. With me, the cars and vehicles, does it ever make sense? No, it doesn't. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to sit here. My wife starts asking all these questions, and I'm not going to lie to her. I just tell her the way it is. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Does it make any sense? No. Yeah, you've got a problem. Yeah, I do. I'm not going to lie. So, anyways, what are my goals? I had a goal last year to literally buy the most cars ever in 1 year, and I accomplished it. The year before that was actually 2 years before that. It was 2020. 2020, that year was the goal to own as many cars at one time in my lifetime. And I think I hit 34. Between motorcycles and cars and trucks and SUVs, I think I hit 34 vehicles. So last year I bought 30 vehicles, but I didn't own like 30 vehicles. Yeah, so, but that was my goal in 2020. And in 2021, the goal was to thin everything out. And then in 2022, so what is 2023? 2023, I don't think it'll play out, which would be pretty cool, is if I actually was able to cash out in a select few cars that I got big money for them. That would be pretty cool. But I don't know. Where the market is, I just don't know if that's realistic. Maybe a little too premature still. I don't know. But that would be pretty good, pretty big. As far as me buying 30 vehicles this year, no, that's not my goal by any means. As far as adding a bunch more vehicles, no, that's not the goal. Kind of just keep it the same. Yeah, will I get a car here and there? Yeah, no doubt about that. But it's not going to be the craziness of last year. The problem is I have so many vehicles now that I really like that that's the challenge. What do I give up? That's a challenge. All right, everybody, thanks for watching my channel. Appreciate all nice comments. Appreciate those that do watch it and listen, because like one gentleman, he was right. He's like, hey, man, that Hurricane motor is not a V6. I'm like, yeah, that's right. It's not. It's an inline six. So thank you. Appreciate that. Others make little comments. I just get a kick out of the comments that people make. I'm fortunate. I'm not so big. That's one thing I like about my channel. I'm not a real big guy, so I can really respond to the few comments I get. And then I'm not getting all the riff-raff. I really don't want it. I just really don't want the anti-people on my channel. I'm just no thanks. If you don't like my content, you don't have to go watch something else. I'm not here to personally attack anybody. That is not my channel. But you get people to start doing that to you on your channels, and just like, the bigger you get, the more that you get exposed. I'm content. I'm happy. I don't make any money. I don't care. It's just all about having fun and me talking and sharing my experiences. And hopefully it helps others. And you can use me as the problem child and say, you thought I'm the problem child, honey? Wow. I'm golden. Watch this guy. Everybody, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more adventures. What's next? I don't know. What do I do? Do I buy the Grand Cherokee L, the used one? Nice car. It's a nice car. I could go do the deal if I really want to deal it. I don't know yet. I'm just still thinking. And I wasn't ever on the mission to do that. That was a total surprise. So anyway, once again, hey buddy, God bless, stay safe, and stay tuned.